Let's get right into this explainer. Right now, those rigid, top-down hierarchies of the 20th century, they are literally dissolving into what we call a liquid future, driven heavily by AI. If you're stepping into any kind of leadership role today, throw out the old rulebook. It's useless. Instead, we're pulling out the core methodology from tech strategy expert Bita Masor. This is designed specifically to help a completely new generation of global leaders navigate all this instability.
To build out this modern foundation, we'll unpack Morzer's methodology across 5 distinct pillars. 1. Navigating the liquid future. 2. Lean evidence-based strategy. 3. The circular operating model. 4. Tech tools and specialization. And 5. Human leadership and mentorship.
Section 1. Navigating the liquid future. To really grasp this framework, we first have to look at the massive crisis traditional diplomacy is facing right now. It's the total democratization of information flow, thanks to AI. Historical models relied heavily on exclusivity and super slow bureaucracy. They were inherently delayed, hierarchical, and state-centric. But today's landscape, it demands real-time, agile, and network-oriented action. You aren't just a static representative anymore. You literally have to operate as a highly responsive node in a dynamic global network.
Section 2. Lean evidence-based strategy. So how do you actually strategize when the landscape changes minute by minute? Moser borrows a brilliant concept straight from startup culture to deal with this, the minimum viable policy, or MVP. Look, instead of spending years drafting these massive, rigid policies that are completely obsolete before they even get approved, modern leaders launch the smallest possible action. You intervene just enough to generate immediate feedback. You test the waters during an active crisis, measure the real results, and adapt on the fly. It saves massive amounts of resources and keeps your strategy ruthlessly anchored in reality. The real key here is moving away from pure intuition and leaning entirely into evidence-based success. When a crisis hits or the economy tanks, relying on your gut just isn't enough to stabilize the team. You need hard data. To figure out your total strategic impact, Moser's framework uses a highly specific formula to give you a clear, undeniable blueprint for organizational action.
And here's exactly how that formula works. Your total impact is a combination of your quantitative goals, say the actual raw number of new trade inquiries, plus your qualitative goals, like how easy people feel it is to do business with you. Then you take that combined score and multiply it by the weight of importance for that specific situation. Why does this matter? Because balancing these exact metrics gives your team internal stability. It shows them exactly what they can control and measure, even when the outside world feels completely chaotic. Section 3, the circular operating model. Let's talk about how this mindset physically restructures public institutions. By implementing this AI-based framework, you can slash institutional time and cost waste by up to 80%. Traditional bureaucracies are sprawling, linear, and full of massive redundancies. This circular model offers a radical, sustainable alternative. Instead of burning through resources in a straight line, progressive organizations operate in a circle. They constantly reinvest. This means knowledge circularity, where insights from one single mission automatically feed into the rest of the organization. It means talent circularity, letting leaders move fluidly across different functions. And operational circularity, using decentralized models so your team can still thrive and execute flawlessly, even if the central hub gets disrupted. Section 4, tech tools and specialization. But how does this play out in your day-to-day? There is a major warning baked into this methodology. Do not fall into the generalist trap. Trying to know a little bit about everything is actually super dangerous now. Whether it's European integration or biotech, the specialists win. A leader who genuinely understands the technical architecture of one specific niche, like AI ethics or migration policy or climate security, is infinitely more valuable today than someone who only speaks in broad generalities. To back up that specialization, you need a very specific tech toolbox. This isn't just a nice bonus anymore. It's the fundamental infrastructure you need for excellence. We're talking AI-driven analytical tools for predictive modeling, lean marketing to build a brand efficiently, and absolutely no-code and low-code solutions. These let you deploy services instantly without waiting months for a massive IT department. You don't have to be a hardcore programmer, but you absolutely must understand the geopolitics of the tech you're using. Section 5, Human Leadership and Mentorship.
Of course, all this high-tech infrastructure has to ultimately be grounded in actual human values. By identifying your specific Gallup talents, you can build a deeply authentic, values-based leadership style. Mussour uses this extensively with her mentees. For example, if your top talent is strategy, your role in diplomacy is mapping out complex geopolitical webs, spotting patterns where everyone else just sees a mess. If you're an achiever, you're the engine driving endless negotiations to a solid, documented finish. Knowing your unique talent stack guides how you negotiate, keeps team morale high, and builds massive collective resilience. But how do you prove those talents to the rest of the world? In an environment where everyone calls themselves an expert, credibility comes from hard facts and measurable results, not just a slick image. Meritocracy demands an evidence-based portfolio. When you're putting your CV together, ditch the vague adjectives like great leader. Use the actual numbers. Say, coordinated a team of 15, or cut bureaucratic delays by 80%. Treat your online presence as a highly strategic tool that projects precise, verifiable competence. This leads straight into cultivating relationship capital through a 3-step mentoring framework. Basically, you need to become the mentor you always wished you had. Step 1. Curriculum building. Actively design real structured development paths for your younger colleagues. Step 2. Feedback culture. Build an environment where honest, highly actionable advice is the norm. And step 3, succession planning. Be proactive about preparing the next generation to step up. Because in a liquid future, relationship capital is your most valuable currency. Ultimately, this liquid future is not something to be terrified of. It's an incredible opportunity just waiting to be seized. The whole point of Mussour's methodology is bridging that gap between essential 20th century values and powerful 21st century technology. We are definitely not abandoning integrity or human connection. We're just translating them into a much sharper, modern operational language. So as you step into your own leadership role in this fast-paced world, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on. Looking at these 5 foundational pillars we just covered, which one are you going to strengthen first? Your tech toolbox, your lean strategy, or maybe your mentoring network? Think about it and start building. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.